starving. How many cases till lunch?
Just one.
Good. Stand back and observe how fast I can work when my stomach's involved. Mr. Dobbs, you're on.
Your Honor, I'm representing the Attorney General for the preliminary hearing regarding the DCF's petition to terminate parental rights of one Ann Featherstone to her son, Evan.
Is Miss Featherstone here?
She's right here, Your Honor.
Go on, Mr. Dobbs.
Mr. Axelrod, father of Evan Axelrod, has provided DCF with extensive information that the Attorney General believes will amply demonstrate Ms. Featherstone's unfitness as a mother, as well as a clear and imminent danger to her child.
Child's age?
He's 8 years old, ma'am.
Mr. Axelrod,
Yes, Your Honor.
did the Attorney General accurately represent your position?
Yes, ma'am. I don't think my son is safe in his mother's care.
Now, I see here that you never married Miss Featherstone. You've had very little contact with your son. Why are you taking this action now?
Because it's only recently that the boy's mother has become a witch.
What?
A witch.
Mr. Axelrod, I think you'll have to qualify that statement.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
This is just a show cause hearing, Miss Featherstone. You'll have plenty of opportunity to present your side of the story. Mr. Axelrod, when you say that she's a witch, you mean... What do you mean?
I mean, she's a witch.
Miss Featherstone, what's going on?
He's never been a part of Evan's life, or mine. He sends a check whenever he feels like it. Suddenly, he's gotten married, and now he wants to be a father. He can't just take my child away like that. Please, don't let him manipulate you, Your Honor. This is a vicious...
Hold on, Miss Featherstone. First, I need to clear something up. Why does he think you're a witch?
Well, technically speaking, I am a witch.
Two kids, boy 16, girl 15. School nurses reported incidents of chronic bruising. Teachers have reported incidents of acting out, inappropriate sexualized behavior. Anyway, the family's name is Compson. They live over by Westbourne.
Just a moment. That name is familiar.
Well, they're repeat customers. DCF investigated the same family 5 years ago.
But they lived in Marlow.
That's right. They moved to Westbourne a few years ago.
I worked that case. We went out a couple of times, but nothing was ever established.
Well, unfortunately, most of the paperwork's disappeared. Was there evidence of abuse?
It was inconclusive. Judge Cranston believed she's just accident-prone defense.
What do you think was really going on?
I wasn't the lead investigator. I inherited the case. The oldest boy would beat up on the girl. She'd beat up on the neighbor's kid. Something was very wrong in that family.
Well, if that's still the case, try not to miss it this time. Get out there for a family clinical assessment.
I hope the third kid is having an easier time of it.
Third kid?
A toddler, little boy. He had that condition with the, pediatric myopia. Wore the Coke bottle glasses.
Wrong family. Only 2 kids there.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Next thing, the information is clear. And you don't always have to be right.
I don't mean dumb fecos like in a white sheet going, ooh. I mean real dead people. Get lost, kid.
What are you guys talking about?
You can't listen. You're too young.
I'm in the 1st grade. I stay up until 9 o'clock.
Okay, if you really want to hear, I'm talking about the ghost of the red coat.
There's no such thing as ghost.
Oh, yeah? He was a British soldier in the Revolutionary War until one day he was captured by the Bluecoats and thrown into the dungeon. All they gave him to eat was one tiny little bowl of porridge every day with bugs crawling around in it.
Bugs?
Hundreds of bugs. After a while, he got so weak he couldn't stop the rats from eating him. First they ate his eyes, then they ate his tongue. Now, every year at Halloween, the ghost of the Redcoat comes back. He goes by every house, looking in the windows, looking for kids to get, especially little girls with long hair. And if he catches you looking at him, he kidnaps you, and he steals your voice, and he locks you in a dungeon for the rest of your life.
Wicca is probably the oldest religion in the world. Thousands of years older than
It's
Christianity.
not a religion. It's a bunch of nutcases who run around in the woods in long robes with deer antlers on their heads.
Don't interrupt, Mr. Axelrod. This conference may be off the record, doesn't mean I'm not in charge.
Your Honor, we might practice some elaborate rituals, which to an outsider might seem strange, but you can say the same thing about Catholicism.
Catholics don't chant and cast spells.
No, they just light candles and pray to saints. What's the difference?
I'm warning you about these outbursts, Mr. Axelrod.
Your Honor, I mean no offense, but are we going to get a history lecture on Wiccanism?
Yeah, if your office is going to allege that Ms. Featherstone's practice of witchcraft is dangerous to her son, then I have to know what witchcraft is. Now, Ms. Featherstone, continue.
Your Honor, the word witch gives everyone the wrong idea. We don't go around putting hexes on people. We're just trying to live in a way that's closer to nature.
Your Honor, I move for a summary dismissal of this petition at this time. The Attorney General has not come remotely near the suggestion of any substantive concerns that justify violating my client's civil rights.
Mr. Dobbs, so far, I haven't heard anything that represents a danger to the child.
I'm getting to that, Your Honor. Last month, Ms. Featherstone discontinued administering an antibiotic that the boy's pediatrician had prescribed for an ear infection. Mr. Axelrod took the boy back to the doctor, got him back on the medicine. Medical reports indicate that there could have been permanent hearing loss imminent.
We have records stating that the boy's situation was never that serious.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Go ahead.
Your Honor, these people are insane. They chant and offer burnt offerings to weird pagan gods you never heard of. It's crazy, and I don't want my child exposed to it.
For 8 years, you never cared what he was exposed to.
And you're sick. You need help.
You abandoned us. You're using this to steal my child. What you're doing is sick. It's evil. Your Honor, can't you see that?
I'm not on trial here, Anne.
Okay, calm down. I'm going to set this for trial. But I want to hear evidence, not mudslinging. Parental rights are at stake here, and I want you all to treat this with the seriousness it deserves.
I miss your office hours?
Ah, there he is. Favorite wretched, ink stain, miserable literary genius.
No, I'm not miserable. Miserable is when I was taking your class.
I'm always hardest on my best students.
Did anybody actually fall for that? So what's the big mystery? Why'd you call me?
I've finally had a chance to read your stories.
And?
You want the truth?
No, I don't know. I know. I want to hear that they're brilliant.
The truth is they are brilliant.
Really?
Vincent, I've been betting on you for years. Periodically, an agent will call me to see if I'm onto anything new. So I took a chance and sent your stories. Apparently, the Board of Geniuses at Artists' Literary Talent responded to your work.
Artist literary talent.
Yeah?
Really?
One of the agents was a fellow English student here. She remembers you. Her name was Hillary Baker.
Hillary Baker?
Mm-hmm.
No.
What?
Hillary Baker is the single most evil entity I've encountered in my life.
So she became an agent. So what else is new?
I don't know how long I could work with this Susie Nixon person. She treats me like I'm an idiot.
The world is full of annoying people, Mom. Just try not to be one of them. That's what you used to tell me.
She never talks to me. She talks at me.
Can I be excused now?
I'm ready. You haven't eaten anything.
I'm not hungry.
Kitchen still open?
When is it not?
My roommate's breaking up with his girlfriend again. I'm kicked out.
Those two need to get married.
You know, Vincent, I've never even seen this phantom apartment. I don't think it exists.
You can buy at your own risk.
Can I go watch TV now, Mom?
No. Stay and visit with us. Hey, Gus's mommy is going to a PTA meeting tomorrow night at your school.
Whose?
Yours.
I'd rather be burnt at the stake than go to one of those.
Yes, you have made that abundantly clear my entire life.
Those meetings have a diabolical effect. Normal people turn into tyrants. It's just like high school with the cliques and the conspiring.
Well, I want to be part of the clique. I want to feel like a normal mom. Besides, We're going to be talking about the Halloween carnival. It should be fun.
Well, maybe the PTA has changed since my day.
Any of you thought about what you want to be for Halloween? It's coming up.
Not really.
Vampires are always cool. Long fangs, big cape, lots of fake blood.
I don't know.
I can tell you from firsthand experience that the trick-or-treating in this town is first rate. It's pure junk. None of that healthy stuff like apples.
Maybe I shouldn't go trick-or-treating this year. I think I'm growing out of candy.
Growing out of candy? What have you done with my daughter?
Besides, it rots your teeth.
Honey, you love Halloween. It's your favorite time of year.
Can I be excused now, Mom? I really want to watch TV.
Sure. Okay. That's not normal.
Give her time, she'll come around.
Yeah, but what if she doesn't? We can't miss Halloween. It's like missing Christmas.
Don't worry, Amy. I'll go trick-or-treating with you.
You know, it's this damn witch trial. I bet she heard something about it at school. That's why she's so scared.
Witch trial?
I didn't say that.
Amy.
I gotta go talk to Lauren.
She did say witch trial.
It's been known to happen.
So what's the occasion? I thought I wasn't allowed to walk into class.
I just felt like it today.
You thought any more about Halloween?
No.
You go as a cowgirl. I went as a cowgirl 3 years in a row. I could teach you to say, reach for the sky, partner.
No thanks.
Lauren, what's wrong? What are you afraid of?
Nothing. Mommy, can I get my hair cut short?
What?
I'm tired of long hair.
Since when? Honey, I love your long hair. It's beautiful. Sweetie, I wish you would tell me what's bothering you.
Promise you'll think about it? Me getting a haircut?
Yeah. I'll think about it.
I gotta go. Bye, Mom.
Kiss!
When I think of all our taxes paying your salary, the way we've had to struggle to raise our children properly, well, it hurts to have our home invaded like this.
The DCF doesn't choose who we investigate. We're required to follow up on all reports. But you probably know that based on your previous experiences with DCF, don't you, Mrs. Compson?
That was years ago and nothing ever came of that.
No school for you today?
I'm sick. She has asthma. It flares up every now and then.
Teresa's school nurse has stated that she's concerned about excessive bruising. Any idea where that's coming from?
We played field hockey in gym class. I bruise easy.
She's got thin skin. It's hereditary.
Teresa, is there something you want to tell me?
What's going on?
This is Maxine. She's a social worker. My husband works nights. He usually gets up around this time.
I see. Where's your son, Kenneth?
In school.
And the other boy?
We don't have another boy.
Well, Mrs. Compson, you probably don't remember this, but I came to see you 5 years ago on assignment. I looked a little different, less gray, a couple pounds lighter. I distinctly recall you had another son. I think his name was Timothy.
The neighbor's kids played in our house a lot. Maybe you're thinking of that.
Maybe so.
Mr. Axelrod has learned that Ms. Featherstone sometimes conducts her Wiccan ceremonies in her home, ceremonies that Evan might have participated in.
Is that true?
It's true we have ceremonies.
What do those ceremonies entail?
Different things.
Give me a for instance.
Well, first we cast a circle to sanctify the space, and then we'll bless it with the elements, calling in the watchtowers of the north, south, east, west.
I see.
And then we might invoke certain gods or goddesses or other deities. It depends on what you're doing that day.
Is Evan ever involved?
You might watch, but that's all. I swear. It's completely harmless.
Satanic rituals are harmless?
Objection! No one mentions Satan.
Your Honor, Satan is derived from Christian philosophy. We don't acknowledge Satan on any level.
Your Honor, once again, these questions focus on Ms. Featherstone's religious observance and therefore are inadmissible as evidence.
Yeah, I agree. Move on, Mr. Dobbs.
I'd like to present another witness, Your Honor.
Your excuse, Miss Featherstone. State your name.
Joanne Arnold.
You realize you were sworn in earlier and you were under oath.
Yes.
Ms. Arnold was Evan's babysitter until recently.
Why did you stop taking care of Evan?
Because I got scared about what was happening in that house.
Joanne, that's garbage and you know it.
Ms. Arnold?
Make her stop looking at me.
I fired her for stealing $140.
I never took anything from you.
Okay, calm down, Ms. Arnold. Just tell me what happened.
Oh, I happened to tell her that I was worried about my boyfriend, who was starting to act interested in other girls. She told me that she could cast a spell on him, and that made me scared.
Miss Featherstone, did you cast a spell?
Your Honor, a spell is just our word for a prayer.
She said that it would make him impotent with other women.
See, they hate men, and she's passing that on to my son.
Mr. Axelrod.
And her name is not Featherstone, it's Murphy. She changed it after she got involved with the witches.
This is totally irrelevant. Again, Your Honor, I demand that Miss Featherstone's religious beliefs are protected.
You're taking some liberties here, Mr. Carr. It's protected in theory only. Wicca is not an established religion in this state.
I'd like to present another witness, Your Honor.
No.
No.
Approach the bench. You're excused. We're getting nowhere with this. A scared babysitter is not a substantial witness. You cannot bring me a parade of people to impugn this woman's character.
I agree, Your Honor.
And you're trying to convince me that Wicca is in the same league as the Rotary Club. Well, it's not. I need to view this case rationally, and to do that, I need rational evidence. Now, I'm going to set one more day for this trial, during which time I better hear something worth trying.
Well, Vincent, Hillary speaks very highly of your work. She's only been with us a few months, and she's already brought us some promising clients. I've learned to trust her instinct about writers.
I can't argue with your instincts.
You're a short story writer, I understand.
That's right.
Won the Pushcart Prize, then dropped out of sight.
Well, I needed some time to think.
I see. Well, I have an appointment, so I'll leave you two alone. If you impress Hillary, then you impress me. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Senior agents. They like to stick their nose in the room and take credit for my work.
A maneuver you're familiar with.
Really, Vincent? I thought you might at least finish your coffee before you brought that up. Look, I did not steal your story. There are similarities, sure, but, there's nothing new under the sun.
Let's see. Blind widow starts to believe her husband has been reincarnated in the form of a young Iranian boy. No, you're right. That's a universal story.
Okay, whatever happened in the past, let's put it aside. Okay, it's water under the bridge.
If you say so.
Vincent, do you know how many slender volumes of finely wrought stories are published every month to a giant collective yawn? Taking you on will mean work for me. But I'm a good agent. I can get you published. You want that?
Yeah, of course I want that.
One concern, though. Publishers nowadays, they're pretty much only doing these 2-book deals. That means I've got to trust that you won't have another breakdown like you did in college and leave me to deal with some angry buyer. Can you reassure me of that?
I need to think about this. I need to think about all of this.
Okay. You go think. I'll drop the papers.
I told her that my son is the best 6th grade swimmer in the school, and if she didn't see that, well, it's her problem.
Excuse me, is this decaf for real?
Oh, we only serve decaf. I mean, show me another 11-year-old that can get close to his times.
I'm Amy Gray. I'm a new mom. I mean, new at the school, not at being a mom.
Oh, you're the judge. I've heard about you. I'm Nancy. This is Farah. Who's your child?
Lauren. Cassidy.
Wait a minute. Lauren in Miss Schlewe's class? With the long hair and the big eyes?
Yeah, it's the name.
She's adorable. Oh, my son, Clive, is in love with her.
Wow, that sounds scary.
We'll have to get them together for a play date.
Great. I'd like that.
Okay.
hair.
Give me those, please. You are not allowed to handle scissors.
I told Mommy I wanted to cut my hair.
You may not cut your own hair.
It'll take Mommy too long to understand.
Understand what? Lauren. What?
I don't want the ghost to see me and take me away and steal my voice and lock me in a dungeon.
What ghost?
Mad soldier ghost. He locks you in a dungeon away from your family. They say he looks for girls with long hair.
Lauren, there's no such thing as ghosts.
Yes, there is. Darian says grown-ups can't see them.
Who the hell is Darian?
A boy at school. He's 9.
Don't you ever worry about anyone locking you anywhere.
How can you be sure?
I'm sure. I'm old. I've lived long enough to see everything. And if there were ghosts who hurt little girls, I would know.
Why?
Because I raised a little girl. Your mommy. She always had long hair, and she never saw a ghost. Another thing, when I pick you up at school, would you, introduce this Darian to me?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first order of business is the Halloween Carnival, which is fast approaching. I'll turn it over to Nancy, who is head of the committee.
Several parents and I feel that we should issue a directive to our children this year indicating what kind of costumes we feel are appropriate. No violent action figures, no gangsters, nothing sporting a weapon. Also, no ghosts, monsters, vampires, witches, skeletons.
Come on, what does that leave?
Plenty of things. Disney characters, princesses, sports figures, well, except, of course, for Daryl Strawberry. Just keep in mind that if your children show up at the school party in inappropriate costumes, they will be asked to leave.
I guess I'm confused. Why are we doing this?
We feel it's not a good idea to encourage violence given the current climate in schools.
Well, but that's different. That's not about Halloween.
Oh? What is it about?
I'm sorry. I realize I'm new here, but this seems like a bit of an overreaction. In my work, I see disturbed children all the time. I can't point to a case where the behavior is linked to Halloween costumes.
Look, Miss Gray, committee members have been discussing this for months. Perhaps if you had joined the PTA earlier.
Okay. I should have done that.
If I could move on to the next agenda item.
Please.
We feel that this year the haunted house should be canceled, and we should replace it with a fun house.
Oh, please. Is no one else concerned about this? You're depriving children of their imaginations. You're taking away the fantasy, the fun. You're censoring them.
Miss Gray, do you want to be in this meeting?
What?
We're all in agreement here. You're holding up the process.
Are you kicking me out?
We do have a lot to get done tonight. We'd be happy to have you stay if you could cooperate.
You mean behave?
Miss Gray, we are perfectly aware that there is a witch trial underway right now in local court.
I can't talk about that.
And if you're trying to argue that our concerns are overblown, this isn't happening in another place, right here in our town. Cult members raising children.
Look, if this is going where I think it's going, you don't have to kick me out because I can't be here. It's against judicial ethics.
Well, that's your call.
They hated me.
I warned you about the PTA.
I've never been kicked out of anything, ever.
Ballet.
Well, except ballet. The teacher was a lunatic.
Summer camp.
I suggested a few reforms.
You let all of the horses out of their stalls.
It was cruel to keep them locked up.
My point is that you're a leader. Leaders don't make good joiners. Try and stick with what you're good at.
For once, I'm not going to fight your advice.
Talked to Lauren last night. I figured out her problem. Some kid at school scared her to death with a ghost story.
That's why she's avoiding Halloween.
And she still doesn't want to go.
I'll talk her into it.
Amy, let her sit it out if she wants to.
Mom, fear is a very dangerous and contagious thing. I have to teach my daughter to work through it, not run away from it. You should know that. You've never run away from anything.
House calls. Is this what agents are doing nowadays?
I live in Connecticut, Vincent. No one can afford to live in the city.
What's this?
Agency papers, just standard contract. That is if you want to risk signing with us.
Thanks. I'll have my battery of high-priced attorneys go over this.
I was thinking we should discuss your story collection.
Yeah, why? Aren't they finally wrought enough?
I think they should be a novel. Short stories are impossible to sell, and their day's come and gone.
It's not a novel.
Well, I think it should be. They're all linked, right? Smooth them up into a novel. And I think we could take you on.
This is the first time you mentioned turning the collection into a novel.
Hey, look, if you enjoy obscurity, stay there. Or maybe you want to take me to dinner and explain to me why you should not compromise your pristine vision, and who knows? I could be persuaded.
Hillary, I'm sure that there are those people that are turned on by this kind of manipulation. But I'm not one of them.
Hold on to that, okay? For when the dark night of the soul kicks in.
Mrs. Baxter?
Yes?
I'm Maxine Gray. I'm a social worker. I'd like to talk to you about your former neighbors, Noel and Angela Compson. Do you remember them?
Yes, but I haven't seen them or heard a word about them in the 4 or 5 years since they moved.
Ever have any arguments with them?
I doubt I had more than a dozen conversations with them.
Did the children seem okay?
Nobody in that house seemed okay. It got worse after the youngest died.
A little boy?
Right, the one with the thick glasses.
He died?
They used to leave him out in the yard like a pet. And then one day he went away. We stopped seeing him. My husband asked, and Mrs. Compson said he was very ill. When we never saw him again, we just assumed he died.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Dobbs, have you any more witnesses today, or can we start to wrap this up?
Well, none that you've approved, Your Honor.
Yes, I didn't feel the need to hear from the gas station attendant who claims Miss Featherstone put a hex on him.
Your Honor, I have a witness that I would like to present. I have invited Lyle Warner, an attorney with the Wiccan Anti-Defamation League, to join us.
There's actually such a thing as the Wiccan Anti-Defamation League?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I welcome a voice of reason. Ms. Warner, you've been sworn in?
Yes.
Did Mr. Carr explain that Miss Featherstone's parental rights are at stake?
Yes, I'm often asked to provide background in legal cases where Wicca is involved. I've reviewed the case thoroughly.
And you believe Miss Featherstone is being unfairly accused because of her beliefs?
No.
No?
We are very selective about who we defend, and we're not willing to take up her cause.
Your Honor, this testimony is not what we prepared.
I was only asked to testify. No one told me what to say.
Your Honor, the witness has turned hostile.
Mr. Carr, let me hear her testimony.
Your Honor, Wicca is only just starting to step out of the shadows. We can't afford to put forth a negative public face. Miss Featherstone's behavior does not fit our profile. She isn't our type of person.
Are you saying Miss Featherstone is a bad witch?
Yes, that's what we're saying.
Here it is. Birth records on the Compson family. Mother, Angela H. Father, Noel P. Children, Kenneth J. and Teresa K.
Just 2.
That's right.
I see. Any death records?
Not in the immediate family.
Thank you. Is there any reason you would not have a birth record?
Oh, sure. The baby's born out of state or at home, for example, not at a regular medical facility. And some people actively avoid creating any records for their kids. Paranoid types, mostly.
Okay, that's it. I've given this trial as much serious attention as I intend to. There's no obvious sign of abuse. Court's adjourned today. I can't hear any more evidence.
I'll simplify it for you. I'm not going to fight Mitch anymore. I just want to surrender my rights.
Well, we really need to discuss this in court.
There's no more discussion. I won't come back.
I better come inside. Miss Featherstone, if you terminate your parental rights, you may never be able to see your son again. So think about what you're saying.
Judge Gray, I know I'm not the best mother, but I love my son. I always figured that made up for a lot.
I've always figured that too.
Today I was fired from my job. I've been there for 4 years. I'm pretty sure it's because my boss found out I was a Wiccan.
They can't fire you for that.
Actually, they have plenty of reasons they could fire me. I'm not exactly the world's best waitress.
Okay, but that's just a job. You can always get another job. You can't replace your relationship with your son.
My own congregation turned their back on me.
Well, that was politics.
There are the phone calls and the hate mail. Last night, someone broke all the windows in my car.
We'll get the police. We'll post around-the-clock guard. I'll file for an order of special protection.
Judge Gray, I know why all this is happening. Because I've never chosen to behave like other people. I didn't marry Evan's father. And I have all these strange beliefs which to me don't seem strange. But I live differently, and that scares people, and that is not going to change. I can't risk it. I have to protect my son. And he is safer if I'm not his mother anymore.
Miss Featherstone, I'm going to forget that you came in here today. I want you to go home. I want you to think about what Evan means to you and what life not being his mother would be like. I'll see you in court tomorrow.
Murdered. They killed that child. And I think there's evidence of it somewhere in that house. There's no birth record, so it's easy to cover up.
Maybe there's no birth record because there's no child.
Ms. Nixon, I remember him, and the former neighbors confirm it.
Neighbors are suggestible.
There's no reason to doubt these people.
Maxine, we barely have enough evidence to investigate abuse. Now you want to start searching for a dead kid. Why don't you call the police if you're so convinced?
You know why.
Because there's no probable cause.
And DCF doesn't need probable cause. This job relies heavily on instincts and perceptions and hunches.
I forbid you to go back to that house.
I can't walk away from this a second time.
I will personally arrange a restraining order if I have to.
Ms. Nixon!
It's over!
Hey, what are you doing here?
Told me to stop by sometime this week, so I'm stopping by.
All right. I think all I got is peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
That sounds good.
Coming up. You want a soda?
Sure. Afternoon delight. Yeah. Who's Hillary Baker?
Oh, that. She's an old college acquaintance. She works at this New York literary agency now. They want to sign me.
Vincent, that's great.
It's not so great, actually. I'm not gonna do it.
Why not?
I knew her in college. She's a bad person.
How bad?
There are people that you don't like, right? And then there are people that bring down the quality of the human condition.
Okay, that's bad.
It gets worse. We had this one tequila-related incident. Me and Hillary in college.
And you feel like you have to pay for it the rest of your life?
I just feel like if I use her to get something that I want, it's like making a deal with the devil.
There are bad guys everywhere, Vincent. Who do you think I deal with?
Amy, your job is different. There are things more important than success. I mean, I believe that. Self-respect is worth something.
Fine. But if you let the devil stop you, then the devil wins. I mean, doesn't she?
My parents aren't home.
That's all right. They don't need to be. You can't just come in here. Actually, I can. Well, stop her, Kenneth.
Go call Mom.
What are you afraid of?
You're just not supposed to be here, okay?
Teresa,
I told you to go call Mom.
what's in here? Do you have a key?
No!
May I ask why you don't want to work with Hillary?
I don't feel comfortable.
I've got to say, I don't feel comfortable bringing you in without her. You were her idea, you know.
It's a deal breaker for me. That's all. I would be really happy to sign with ALT, but there are other agencies.
Oh, really? Which ones?
I don't feel at liberty to say.
You're making this difficult, Vincent. We haven't even taken you on, and you have demands. Makes me worry about the future.
If you would just take a look at my work, I would appreciate that. And I'll accept any decision that you make. Thanks.
You're certainly going out on a limb here. Hillary must really rub you the wrong way. It would help if you told me why.
I'd rather not.
You can't be down here. My father doesn't let anyone down here.
Why not? What's your father hiding?
Hiding nothing.
Timothy?
We have to start. Where's your client, Mr. Carr?
Ms. Featherstone has informed me that she is no longer contesting Mr. Axelrod's charges.
Your Honor, Ms. Featherstone's failure to appear is tantamount to abandonment.
It's unacceptable. She cannot walk out in the middle of a trial. I'll subpoena her.
Ms. Featherstone has disappeared. She wrote me a note saying that she left the state, won't return.
Well, Mr. Axelrod, it looks like fate is on your side today.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Axelrod, under the circumstances, I have no recourse but to grant the DCF's petition and award you full custody of your son, Evan. But I am far from happy about it. Clearly, you are fit parents, but the charges you brought against Ann Featherstone instigated a full-scale witch hunt. She was literally run out of town. There is nothing in this situation for you to be happy about, nor you, Mr. Dobbs. This is a travesty. I am granting custody, but I refuse to terminate parental rights. Ms. Featherstone can come back and contest this decision at any time. The child lost his mother because of hate and hysteria. We can't do better than this. Why even have a judicial system? What's the point?
Bad day?
I needed to wind down someplace before going home. I'm not ready to be a mother and a daughter just yet. Where's your roommate?
He's getting back together with his girlfriend. Watching their antics makes me glad to be alone.
Nah, you need a girl.
Well, I had one. I screwed that one up. I told you.
You didn't tell me about her.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She was just this smart, beautiful, funny, talented, rich woman. Not my type.
You miss her?
When I let myself.
It's funny. It's only at the end of a really bad day that I feel lonely. just need someone to make me laugh.
Hey, I'm working on it.
And rub my feet.
I made you a drink. That's all you get. Hello. Yeah. Oh, hi. I see. Well, thanks. That's great. I appreciate that. Yeah, I can do that. All right, thanks again.
Who was that?
That's my agent.
The devil?
No, the devil's boss.
How'd that happen?
I took a chance. I went over her head. Huh. Wow, it worked.
Hi, Mommy.
I didn't mean to wake you up.
It's okay.
You know, I've been thinking about Halloween. I think maybe you should go as an angel. Because angels, you know, scare away ghosts.
They do?
Absolutely.
Can I have wings?
Wings, halo, the whole bit.
What will you be?
An angel's mommy. What's up?
Can't sleep.
Yeah, me either. It's a bad day.
Bad as they come.
You saved that kid, Ma. I heard.
He might be beyond saving. If I had pushed harder the first time.
Don't. You can't anticipate a thing like that. It's not human. He has a chance now.
They said they did it because he wasn't normal.
Let's make pancakes.
It's 2 a.m.
So what?
That's a very good point. You mix, I'll flip.
You always flip.
My house, my rules.